don't understand. Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, vanity, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers don't need no cause. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons. Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? Does a dire bear shit in a dire woods? Authors and dragons! Authors and dragons!
Hi, I'm Joseph Brassi. I play the role of Bjorn Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian, and I am the author of such books as Skyfarer, Dragon Road, the Mongoliad series, and I am working on my first shingles tentatively titled Necromancers. Go buy my shit, and I'll see you at AMD-Con.
Hello. My name is Rick Gualtieri, and I'm playing Silas Kane, mighty paladin of... Well, we won't go there. In real life, I write several series, including Tales of the Crypto Hunter, Bill of the Dead, and The Tome of Bill. And I, too, will be at A&D-Con, so if you haven't bought your tickets yet, the fuck, dude.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures. And... like the others, I will be at A&D-Con, and there you go.
Hi there, my name's Steve Weverill, and I play Brandon Firemaster, narcissistic monk and captain of the good ship, Shipberg. In real life, I write the Doomsayer Journeys, and yeah, I'm going to be at A&D-Con.
Hey everyone, I am Drew Hayes, author of books such as Superpowered, NPCs, and the newly released 5-Minute Sherlock, The Case of the Damaged Detective. In my spare time, I also DM this cascading waterfall of absolute fuckery that we call Authors and Dragons. And as you may recall, when we last left off, the party had sailed to a new island with lots of rocks and sheer cliffs and allegations of divinity. So you all sailed out and docked as you were instructed, because you really didn't have a lot of options to the contrary. And, you take the night, you relax. As you all are settling down for the evening, you all see Gordon Skinflint race off the side of the boat, leap, turn into a bird, and begin to fly away screaming, "So long, suckers!"
Can I shoot him with an arrow?
He makes it all of 20 feet up before he poofs, turning back into goblin form and falling to the ground of the ship. As he does, there's another poof, and Bjorg emerges once more, normal, looking pretty rested, pretty relaxed, much better than the rest of you who had to deal with all that crab bullshit.
I feel not crabbed.
Hey, look, Bjorg's back. He's no longer stinky little goblin.
Oh, I didn't realize he was missing.
I will let you die. Come
the morning, you awake to find Fandango trying to snort something off of the Goblin Gordon's head, and surprise, surprise, he poofs and changes places. Gordon looks properly chastised and continues work on translation. So, as you all are milling about, doing breakfast, eating, well, let's be honest, just crab. That's all you have is crab. That's all you've had for days.
That's all I want.
I'm still not tired of this crab. It's a good crab.
Mm-hmm.
The ship does a good job preparing the crab for you.
Yes. It goes especially good washed down with dirty bilge water.
Yeah, I could do with some fresh water. Starting to feel a bit insane.
I know that I could certainly go for some grog.
All right, about this time, we'll say, you hear a voice and a big, like a thud, kind of a rumble, like a gentle knock on the side of the boat. Morning.
What was that?
Go up on
deck. What was that noise?
What's the boat term?
You just heard like the rumble, and you heard the word morning come from above deck.
I'll go up on deck.
Bjorg will also go up on deck. Why not go up on deck?
Yeah, let's go up on deck. It smells of crab farts down here.
It smells like butt.
Okay, so as you guys go up on deck, Gordon pointedly does not join you. Drag him if you want, but he definitely doesn't volunteer. Fandango does wander up in form. So you emerge to find what appears to be a Minotaur, but on the slightly more human-scaled size, clad in armor. It's kind of silver, kind of worn. It's certainly not gleaming, but it's not tarnished either. It's well cared for, just used. Holding a shield and what appears to be in his hands a mace, although you're pretty sure in one of your hands it would function better as a spear.
Mace spear.
Holy cow.
It's mostly just the length of it would be cumbersome to try and wield.
It's a mace spear. It's a space.
It is a space.
It's a space.
Why are you here, cowman?
They love being called that.
Heard you folks were looking for entrance. I was sent to come and escort you. Meander around and show the place and keep you from, well, starting too much trouble.
Excellent. Take us to the temple of rhymes with boar egg.
Mm-hmm. So no one's explained to you how Gloricus works then, I take it.
They may have, but you should probably explain again.
He's gonna kind of gesture to the mountain with his mace spear pointing implement. What you see is functionally a staging ground for a plane and a place that is between spaces. There's a city up there, between the celestial realm and this mortal plane. A place that can be reached specifically through this entrance and is therefore quite keenly guarded by the forces of virtue and good.
Sounds like we've come to the right place.
I assume you're here on a righteous pilgrimage and have come to join the initiates and attempt to gain entrance.
I don't...
100% yes.
Excellent.
You are entitled to make that assumption.
The average time span, depending on the devotion of the initiate, is approximately 10 years, given your particular faith and tenets.
In 10 years, I'll be 30 and therefore, dead. Effectively dead. You know where we can speed things up?
Wait, did you say that after 30 you'd be functionally dead?
Oh yeah, I just assumed that, 30 years old. It's just basically death, isn't it?
Don't worry, Brandon. You've technically been dead to me since we met.
But still attractive. I mean the more physical sort of wrinkles and things. That's when it's just time to die.
If you're not at your best, you're at your worst.
Exactly. If I'm going to achieve spiritual perfection, ideally, like maybe 3 months.
Silas raises his hand. Will it be an excruciatingly torturous 10 years?
Well, again, that depends on the particulars of your faith. I'm just local law enforcement down here on the non-magical city end of things. I keep the peace, run the supplies, deal with the traders, that sort of thing.
Walker, Texas Cowman.
Sounds like a very moving experience.
Damn it!
Name's Elliott, actually, but the racism is noted.
You see, when he says, will it be 10 years of, a torturous experience, what he fails to mention is that every second he is alive is a torturous experience.
He's gonna kind of rub the... I don't know if chin or like snout is the proper thing, but he's gonna rub it with his shield hand. I suppose if you are really itching to get up there, it is possible if you have a direct invitation from one of the high priests. Of course, you'd have to earn a reputation of being useful enough that they would contract your services, so still gonna have to put some work in.
I am from the north. We are always eager to get up.
Of course, you're also welcome to just buy supplies and keep on sailing. I'm starting to get the impression you did not come here with intent.
We never go anywhere with intent.
But lead me to a priest and I will get an invitation. One way or the other.
You misunderstand. The priests are on the upper levels. You don't go to them. They send for you when your reputation demands it.
Ooh. I like to think my reputation has already spoken for itself.
That is very true. But not in the way you want.
Suppose we should get supplies before Silas's reputation catches up with us.
This is a good idea. I approve.
For reference, you guys are doing okay on supplies, but you are down to probably about half of the crab you started with, and it is starting to taste less good. The ship does the best it can with like salting and preserving, but it's still raw crab.
They're running out of jolly songs to service this crab.
Has nobody, started a fire to cook it?
The ship has been preparing it for you each morning, but magic ship, and a little bit of salt or not, it's raw crab, man. I'm being generous giving this a shelf life at all.
The more rancid it is, the more I enjoy it.
So that's where you guys are in your supply situation. Half crab, and you would probably feel more comfortable. I wouldn't put a lot of faith in having all of that crab through to the end. At least not without some diarrhea-filled consequences.
Now you're talking Klaus's language.
And now I'm just imagining, I'm going to have to look up mechanics for how to deal with combat when characters have the squirts.
Okay, brothers, we could either stay on the boat and shit ourselves, or go take a walk around on the island and see if these people have recognized me yet, which I assume they have.
The island of misfit gods.
Is there wilderness on this island as well?
No, it is rock. It is just a rock sticking out of the ocean. You can see they've carved this little port thing, and they've carved some steps and some buildings that you can make out. In fact, you might see a map of it soon. But there is definitely no wilderness, no vegetation. This, for all intents and purposes, it just looks like a fucking rock slab of nothing, despite what everybody keeps talking about it being this great celestial place.
This island is cut.
Except for the giant, golden light above it, the cloud thing. That's kick-ass. But, the island itself is just a fucking straight-up a spike into the sky.
I raise my hand again to the cowman. So, if somebody has been waiting here for a long time, is it okay for me to assume that they're a non-believer and thus okay to smite?
That would be quite the opposite of the situation. It takes years of faithful service to earn an invitation from the higher priest, so the ones you see who've been here the longest are the closest to ascension.
But they still haven't gotten in.
Neither of you.
So, thus, technically, they're as dirty of a sinner as I am.
No.
And
Thus,
thus...
works.
They're closer to the heavens than you. You are less than them.
Oh,
shit. Technically speaking, I'm okay with that.
Try again, cowman.
George's just sitting there, looking like the meme of that lady with the math in front of her face. He wants to go to heaven, but to go to heaven for him is to be very far away from heaven.
All right, lead the way to shore, cowman. My friends will buy supplies. I will garner an invitation.
All right. We are going to... Checks. Okay, as you all are leaving the boat, the one thing you need to decide... Fandango will tag along in his little goblin monstery form, but if you want to take Gordon or not, that is up to you. If he stays on the boat, he will continue working on translations. If he comes with you, he can assist in battle, should you need him.
He's a dirty little shit. Let's leave him on board.
He did try and run away. Maybe we should just keep him grounded. Are we his parents now? Is this how this works? On the other hand, I know we're not planning on beating anyone up, but we never do really plan on it.
Well, maybe you don't.
What do you reckon, Klaus?
Why? What? No.
Well, normally Fandango makes the decision, and
as the voice of wisdom and reason,
you're the only other half elf. I just assume this is how the chain of decision making works.
Yeah. How does this work with you people?
That is the most racist thing I've ever heard.
I don't think it is.
Elliott just lifts an eyebrow. Have you not been listening to everything you've said to me?
No, I've listened to everything he said to me. And
Yeah,
you.
in a minute, Cowman. We're trying to make some decisions.
We'll move along in a second.
Yeah, don't have a cow, man.
I'm cool with leaving him here to translate. If we get into a fight, I don't know if a little goblin guy's going to make the difference or not.
No, Gordon is in normal form. Since Fandango is switched places with him for now. So he would be normal character abilities.
Right.
Okay.
As long as we don't, if we know we're going to need an extra hand, okay. But if his primary job is to translate, I'd say let him do it.
Okay.
No shore leave for you, Gordon.
All right, Gordon stays on the boat. Do you want to leave Brand Egg on the boat as well, or do you want to schlep that around?
Well, we got a free babysitter. We may as well leave him with Brand Egg.
Is there a secure place we can put Tor Egg so that Gordon maybe doesn't do anything stupid?
You could just lock him in one of your cabins. It's a magical ship.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
You lock him in your cabins, and I need everyone to give me an athletics check.
All right.
God damn it. Silas gets an 8.
Klaus gets a 12.
Brandon Firemaster gets a 15.
Oh, fuck. Bjorg gets an 8. That's a natural 1, actually.
Yes.
All right, then.
You have been a goblin for about a week.
Oh, God.
Takes some getting used to.
That's true. Bjorg has to get used to his human legs.
Ah! How did I have become so big? My hands are so big. Hands are so big.
So by the time you all reach Elliott's office, which is basically sort of like a jail slash station, you see other knights and people in aquatic wear, just a lot of people who look like they could kick some ass. You're basically at the security point of the island, and you can kind of see a map that he has on the wall, slash you can do perception check, slash look, we're going to do a map, here it is.
So, do you want the perception check? Or?
No, this is just I'm just putting up the map of Gloricus for you guys to see, and the people who are watching this on the YouTube channel. So yeah, it is, it's kind of hard to tell, but basically stairs lead from the office where you are straight up the mountain to a large, very large main building, sort of a central hub. You can see some stuff in the back, and then goes up the mountain to the east to what looks like just a huge tower. Like, that middle building is big, but that other one is just gigantic. These are all kind of like built into the mountain itself. If you go to the west, again, all the stairs are rising in elevation. That would take you to another large building. This one is not as big as the middle or the far, but it is about equal in size, the westernmost building, to the northwestern building. These two are roughly the same size. And then whenever you try and look north, there is a staircase leading north of this middle building. But everything you look up there, it's like a little bit of that big shining light cloud thing is drifting down and falling, and just hitting that spot over and over, and just creating this constant mist that keeps it clouded.
We should go there.
That seems intelligent.
Good luck with that. That is the point of ascension, obviously. It's kind of straightforward, but if you approach it without being invited, lightning strikes will ravage the skin from your bones before you make it 10 steps. And even if you get there, the ascension steps won't activate. You'll just die.
Ooh, I am all for that.
Oh, don't encourage him.
If I wanted to see God,
course
I'd
you-
look in a mirror.
Of course, you're always welcome to try. That's the Gloricus way.
Yeah, Silas, lightning only strikes the unworthy. Go for it.
Okay. So do you guys have any basic location questions? This is a long ass walk because you guys rolled shitty. Silas and Bjork are really dragging ass and slowing you guys down. You're not actually going to make it to this middle building until halfway up the day. Because, like, progressing between these buildings is not a small thing. Like, it's a multi-hour journey, and you guys doing shitty on your athletics check did not help that.
Silas has nothing better to do.
So did you guys have anything you wanted to ask him while the tracker... the usual amount of not giving a shit about the place you're about to try and wreck.
So Cowman, do you have any enemies here?
Well, as you might imagine, being a primary staging point for entrance into the celestial realm, there's always a fiend or devil or demon or monster getting it into their head to come and cause trouble. Hence all the security.
So what you're saying is demons and devils have a beef with you.
I think we're lucky it's just a pious cowman. So, Elliott, my bovine brother, I was just about to... Silas raises a good point if you ignore that last part. Because where I come from, in my temple, we achieve ascension to universal perfection by beating the shit out of things. So, if you wanted us to really get some attention, that's kind of where our sweet spot is. Do you have anything that needs punching?
That's interesting, Brandon, because where I was raised, they achieved the same thing by beating the shit out of me.
I think I might like to hear more about that land. He's going to kind of shrug. There's always some sort of monster or issue. If you talk to the barkeep, he knows the undercurrent. He knows who needs what done. Until you make your way up the ranks a little, get called on for the higher-ups, he would be your point of contact. You do the jobs and make him happy, he'll point you toward better pay, better chances, maybe even the opportunity to get them high priests calling your name.
Where do we find this guy?
The bar.
A point toward the building he's been walking you toward for hours. That would be inside the inn.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Anything else, or do you guys want to go ahead and arrive at the end?
Up the hill. The march of fuckery must continue.
By the time you guys arrive, the sun is overhead. You are definitely, tired and ready for a drink.
Drink.
And you arrive. Boop, there we go.
Fancy.
You have arrived to the Gloricus Inn.
One could say it's utter chaos in this place.
Elliott walks in. You see him nod to the bartender, who is a dragonborn over behind the bar. Yeah, the bartender gives him a nod back. Past that, perception checks.
All right.
Okay.
Let us percept.
Brandon Firemaster rolls 16 perception.
Silas gets a 9.
Klaus rolls a 15.
21 for Bjorg.
That's pretty respectable. All right. I will give you all that there are several people in this inn. There's also, not pictured, but there are stairs leading up to rooms and tack and all that other stuff. But let's be honest, this is the bar. This is where you guys are going to spend your time. You can all see that there are a group to the north, a group to the west, a bartender up on the northern area, and then a woman in white robes on the stage. That is all that Silas gets. Everyone else can actually notice the respective looks and everything. I picked actual character faces, so there's some that are wearing robes, there's some that are wearing armor, there's some elves, there's some humans. It's a real dichotic mix going on in there. And you can also notice that the woman on stage is just singing a soft kind of orchestral, but just vocal arrangement. No lyrics, just sort of this nice, gentle, relaxing song that makes you feel good.
This is soothing and nice. I appreciate this place.
Why isn't she singing about having sex with someone? I thought that's... Mind you, I've only got Fandango to go on.
Oh, God. Your only impression of music is Fandango.
I see it's all penis related.
She hasn't mentioned Anaconda once.
Tell me, Bard, do you know the one about being unable to speak untruths about large behinds?
Just head over to the bartender.
Right.
All right, Silas strikes first, walking up to the bartender.
Bjorg will follow because, drink.
Yeah, let's line them up.
Shots.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Even in his state, Fandango would still waddle up to the bar. Okay, so you see the Dragonborn kind of like wrap his claws against the wooden counter. What do you want?
What do you have?
Ale. Meat.
Ale and meat.
Ale and
2
meat.
food groups.
All right.
2 ales for me and Ron Weasley Jeremy.
I would like an ale and a meat.
The Dragonborn is going to, again, cock an eye to Elliott, and this time you see Elliott very pointedly shake his head, and the Dragonborn looks all back at you. That will be 20 gold per ale and 60 gold per portion of meat.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah, maybe it's almost like there are consequences to being a dick to the welcoming committee who introduces everyone to the bartender.
Yeah.
How much is the milk?
Silas, apologize for being a racist.
No. Instead, point.
Paint the whole party with this, bro.
Yeah. I'm sorry that we were shitty.
Yes, I'm sorry we were big piles of cow turds.
Shut up.
Man, this is bullshit.
Elliott's gonna just walk back to the bar and serve himself a tankard of ale, and then just gonna sit back there with the bartender.
Lean over to bartender and point to the symbol on my chest. Be like, have you seen any other followers of this god who I would say, but I can't?
Snakes his head in a little bit and squints. Not here. They go down for their god, not up. Why would a god of the dwarves live in the sky?
Well, we don't like to make racial assumptions. We think that's very rude.
Perhaps you should read your own lore.
As a
Anyway,
matter
are
of
you guys
fact,
paying for the ale and meat, or
Yes, Bjorg will pay for the ale and meat. He's for himself.
20 gold per ale, 60
Alright,
gold per meat?
Let's see what the gold looks like. The gold situation looks like. I have a feeling it's not good.
Silas can pay for everybody because Silas has not spent any of his money.
Oh, that's good because I have basically no gold. So yeah, that's right. You are paying.
I don't believe in going into facilities and not purchasing something. That'd be very rude. So I'll let Silas buy me an ale.
I will let Silas buy mine too.
Yes, a round of your most tepid ale and your most rancid meat for my friends.
Thank you.
He kind of glares like as he's pouring an ale and just like stops. It's like leaves it at the 3/4 and fills the rest of them to that level.
Silas, just don't talk. Just don't talk.
Slide him over. He is the only game in town and he knows it. So yeah, he slides those over. For the record, it's pretty good ale actually. And he just sort of motions. Meat takes a few minutes, even the rancid kind.
Fair enough. Got a few
Bjorg's
minutes to kill.
head is just on the table now.
Make sure like the maggots swarm in it extra well.
No.
Can I have mine without maggots, please?
I would like mine not rancid because of this horrible person. And I apologize for my own behavior. That was wrong.
I didn't actually do anything bad.
Yeah, for once, Klaus has actually been the moral center by saying very little. It's like the best you guys can be is like 0.
Don't have anything nice to say. Don't say anything.
Yeah, what do you guys want to do with your time as you're waiting? You have ales, you have a room, and you have the ability to sit quietly to yourselves or cause more trouble.
I actually want to walk over to these people and just see what holy symbols, if any, that they're sporting. See if I recognize any.
Yeah, I mean, these guys look like other adventurers. I don't think we've really run into another adventuring party.
Oh, who are they?
Let's see. Okay, so you see on this group, they are all hosting symbols of Stratmore, god of travel, journey, wandering, just general people who like to hit the road without shit to do. You know, hippies. These are the equivalent of people who follow the fish. But like in a divine sense. And actually, go ahead and roll me perception as you two are walking up.
Silas gets a 4.
Bjorg will walk up as well because this could go so badly.
4 for Silas, 15 for Brandon, and
That is a 15 as well.
15 for Bjorg. That is a nice even one. All right, so Silas gets nothing. He is too invested in his own scouring of their persons for their holy symbols. But Brandon and Bjorg can both notice that you overhear snippets of conversation about some island-hopping group of adventurers. And you just kind of like hear the words archer, you hear the words great warrior, you hear the words beauty, that's about the time they all kind of notice that you've all walked up and stopped talking amongst themselves and look at you.
Speaking of great warriors, hi, I'm Brandon Firemaster.
I am Bjorg Bjornsson of the North.
Greetings, I am Silas Kane, and I worship a real god.
Wow.
The dude at the far end of the table is going to go, yeah, that's kind of a place for people to keep to themselves, mostly.
God, everyone on this island is so rude.
God, maybe we should go back to our table.
Well, when you've got Silas with your opening remarks,
God,
how can they not be
ignore
receptive?
Ignore him. He is a terrible human being.
Already on it.
He is attempting. We were just coming over to observe and investigate. We've had very few encounters with other adventurers.
Oh, with that attitude, I can't imagine why.
Thank you so much, Silas.
Surely you have paladins in your own adventuring party. I mean, you must be used to this by now.
They actually do look a little bit sympathetic at that statement. Just to check in, Klaus, are you just nursing your beer, or are you causing trouble?
No, I'm just, me and Ron Weasley Jeremy are enjoying our beers.
Nobody bought Fandango a beer, but he is attempting to drink a candle. And doing a pretty good job of it, honestly. Okay, so that's checking in with Klaus and Fandango. All right, going back to you guys.
I'm bored already with these hippie scum. I'm going to head over and check out this group, see if they're less scummy.
Wow.
This group, the minute you get past here, they were already low whispering. They all immediately clam up and just cold-eyed deadlock stare you. The dude at the far end. What do you want?
Greetings, adventurers. I've just come to make your acquaintance.
Pass.
Silas, stop talking to people.
Honestly, letting these lesser worshippers in, it's as bad as the unfaithful.
Wait, lesser worshippers?
Oh, shit. Is there a guy playing honky-tonk piano in here?
Hold on. and who are you calling a lesser worshipper? Unless you're telling me you are a high priest of the great god Tor. Sorry, something in my throat.
I don't worship ground dwellers when I can worship gods.
And what so-called gods exactly do you worship? Because there is only one god above all gods, even if he might live in the ground.
Bjorg is making his way over to Silas because he's probably going to need to restrain him imminently.
Silas will hold up his hand to Bjorg. Shh. Righteous people are speaking.
Oh no.
Us will turn around on his stool just to enjoy the show.
Brandon's still talking to these other guys, oblivious. He's like, so when you guys destroy an island, how do you deal with that, emotionally?
How do you deal with that emotion?
You see the guy, he smiles at you in a very, very go fuck yourself kind of way. I serve the old gods, the secret ones who hide, who conceal their power and strike when the time is right, not brandish it on their chest like children playing dress-up.
That sounds like unbeliever talk to me.
He literally just raises his hand and does the come on gesture. Then please feel free to pit your faith against mine.
No, Silas, no.
Everybody roll me perceptions.
God damn it.
I mean, to be fair to Silas, a lot of paladins are assholes. I had to throw in at least one.
They're having an old-fashioned faith-off.
Oh, Bjorg rolls a 5.
Klaus rolls a 6.
Firemaster rolls a 16. Definitely definitely noticed that lack of honky-tonk music.
Okay, so Brandon, you are the only one who gets to actually see this happen. In a shocking display of grace and mobility, Elliott takes a flying leap over the bar in a single bound and just lands heavily, slamming his mace to the floor. Everybody else, just sees the Minotaur slam down and crack a mace as if dropping from the heavens.
This isn't going to go well.
I will take this point to remind you that you are all here as guests of the nation of Gloricus, and should you decide to make trouble inside this fine establishment, I will be forced to reprimand you and take you into custody, at which point you can serve due process.
No trouble here. We were just simply having a test of faith.
Well, if your test of faith involves fighting, firing arrows, breaking furniture, or generally causing disarray, you're going to find yourself testing my mace. And I'm sure you got a great faith, but the mace is one against plenty.
One can show a test of faith without drawing, others' blood.
Silas about to beat the shit out of himself.
Silas will
He's just going to stare you down, just like, if you can do it, you can do it. Just remember, you are guests.
Silas will walk over to the table. Is there like a candle or something burning on it?
Sure, why not? We established that there are candles, so there is one on the middle of their table.
Silas will look at the guy, smile himself, and say, the faith of Tor, excuse me, knows no pain, and he will just put his hand over the candle and hold it there.
Okay, he's gonna wait. He's gonna see how long you do that for.
Okay.
Roll me a... I guess this would probably work best as just a good old-fashioned constitution. Just grit your teeth and bear it for as long as you can.
All right. Well, this is
so first round. We're gonna up the DC by 5 every time because obviously the pain gets harder to bear. So first round is just a DC 10.
All right. I'm rolling like shit today, so 17.
Nicely done. Okay, so you are you hold it for 1 round. 2 rounds is 15.
God damn it! It's only a 6.
Yeah, I can't give you that one, man. That's despite your will, just you really want to, but you kind of accidentally twitch away by reflex, and everybody sees, and you can't pull it back. Like they definitely saw you break. He will extend his hand, as in like motioning for you to put the candle in it.
Okay, put the candle in it.
Yeah, he takes it. He puts his hand over the flame. You have chosen very poorly. And okay, I'm gonna be GM rolling these because there's some factors you guys don't get to see, but I'll let you know how long we go. So first round for his attempt. He nat 20'd, so he like brings it like to the skin and like smears it in, like just really gets a little art on it. Second round, he beats the 15. Third round, yep. Fourth round, so this will be a 25. Okay, after 4 rounds, he like having more than doubled what you did. He just kind of casually sets the candle down. I believe the point is made.
Yes.
Silas.
Obviously, you have defiled that candle.
Guys, we need to help Silas out.
Well played, sir.
Brandon's going to put a bar of soap in a sack.
Might I know your name and what god you worship?
I thought you needed to help him out. We're just gonna all like hold him down and hold his hand over the flame.
Oh, we could do that as well, but we may as well beat him with sticks and stuff as well. He needs our help. We gotta be there for him.
Just the name. I'm called Bram.
Well, Bram, how about this? I will put my hand on the table, draw one of my arrows out.
Oh no.
Make to look like I'm going to do that trick where you like, you go through the fingers and stuff. And instead jab it right through the, the center.
Bram's going to laugh merrily. Oh, you defile yourself for no reason. You have lost, fool. You are pitiful and pointless.
Defiling
Be gone
yourself
from this table.
Defiling yourself
Come back tomorrow. Perhaps I shall best you again then. But a loser has no right to demand a rematch.
Oh, you must follow a Ponce.
Okay, Bram. Silas makes a note of that as he walks away.
I'm just picturing that MacGruber scene where he like memorizes the license plate just over and over.
Walking away, dragging the table behind him.
Finally, Silas meets another true paladin. Just a real asshole.
Sit next to Klaus and be like, I'm gonna kill that guy, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
For Jesus.
Doing really good, staying on the path of good and righteousness.
You travel around.
Good job.
You work really hard to be the biggest asshole paladin out there, but there's always somebody after you.
Actually, I will walk back over.
No.
Yes, I will.
No.
Yes, and I'll be like,
can I
Bram,
make
I have
wanna
a
make
challenge for you
check.
tomorrow.
Strength check.
Roll strength.
To try and keep Silas from going back over there. Bjork rolls a 10.
Roll me a strength.
Oh wait,
8.
is this a saving throw?
So Bjork
or?
stops you, but no, it's just opposed strength. So Bjork stops you, but again, like it's not that far. You can just yell at him.
I have a true test tomorrow for you, if you're brave enough, Bram.
Why are you doing this?
Here is the challenge. If your faith in your God is so strong as mine, then you will then defile his name, and he'll still forgive you and let you keep your powers.
The entire table has ceased acknowledging that you exist.
And if you don't, you're a coward and a non-believer.
Yeah, they truly just don't seem to care what you think.
Silas, look, I know that it is hard for you to cope with being ignored, but you need to understand that this happens all the time.
We ignore you all the time.
It's nothing special here.
Yes, but I don't care when you ignore me. But that righteous prick over there.
Oh, the pot calling the kettle.
Bjorg just like looks at Brandon and just says, I think I might be about to die of irony. Irony poisoning, there's too much. It's too much.
About this time your food comes out. This has all just been an eventful 10 minutes waiting for your meat. They will, the meat is pretty good. Pretty solid, pretty tasty.
Oh. Thank you.
Nothing's going right for Silas at all.
He wanted rancid meat, so they gave him good meat as a fuck you.
Oh, you'll get it's all good ale, good meat. They don't do much, but what they do well. Okay, so you guys can eat your meals. Okay, does anyone, I guess, have any conversations or anything they want to make? Anything they want to do next?
Fuck
as
you, Bram.
Are eating after you're eating. just Silas just losing the breakup even harder.
For you know something, he might have beat Silas, who only worships one god. But what happens when he meets a guy who works for all of them?
All right. Well, we need to teach that paladin a lesson, at least a paladin a lesson, and we also need to get that hero recognition that I hear is going about. So there was somebody we're supposed to talk to about potential demon punching.
Yes, the person you could talk to who manages all like the lower level jobs that happen, on this, part of the island below the fancy celestial city and all that jazz. That would be the innkeeper, aka the barkeeper that you've been insulting the food of.
Awesome.
Elliott even mentioned he was going to introduce you. It's the guy who runs the place. You watched them greet each other. He went and sat behind his bar. There were a lot of context clues.
Well, Brandon, you know this quest better than I do. Please go. I'm gonna have to go apologize.
You guys are less on a quest, more you just picked an island.
Oh, something about demon punching.
I'll talk to the bartender or the innkeeper. What's the quickest and easiest way to impress people here, besides being me?
God.
The barkeeper kind of squints, tilts his head. Depends on what kind of impression you want to make.
Do you have anything in the punching variety? If you need an island kind of erased from existence, that's also a speciality of ours.
Kind of gonna sniff and lean in a little bit. There are components that are always in demand. Pieces of the nearby sea monsters that can be used for alchemic and culinary purposes. If you were to procure a large amount of such consumables, I believe that would certainly speak well to your competence, as well as building up my own coffers.
So you want us to go and kill monsters and bring you back pieces of them?
He just kind of cocks an eye. You asked for one potential option, and I gave it. That was not a command.
No. This is what one of the things you want us to do, and so I was clarifying, because, I'm very good at chopping things up.
There will always be demand for those goods. The rest, the other things, those come and go as occasion demands. There will be infestations, assaults, inconveniences, but those are jobs I give to people I know, people I can depend on.
Are these sea
people
monsters
who
evil?
understand the basics of manners, such as not interrupting.
Silas, no more handling the diplomacy here. Why am I handling the diplomacy?
We can probably kill some sea monsters. Is there anything? Normally, I would have just kind of walked away and done it by now, but let's be responsible here. Is there anything we should know about said sea monsters? Is there a specific time that's good for punching them, or can they be found anywhere specifically on the island or around the island?
Sea monsters.
He's going to look over to Elliott. Elliott is the one who coordinates the assaults to contain their numbers. He knows the locations, the types, and even the times to best find them.
All right.
So, Elliott, I feel like
apologize.
we got off on the wrong hoof. Let's,
No. Stop.
What? That was
Elliott, I apologize for myself and my companions' atrocious behavior.
Well, your words are nice, but I'm afraid I'm unmoved.
Oh, now he's pointing in.
He's gonna shrug. Listen, the people need the supplies. If you want to take the job, I'll give you the damn information. But, not tonight. I need a rest and a time to relax. You can get it at the office in the morning.
All right. And I say out loud, yes, we will help rid this world of monsters like true heroes.
No, go.
So, okay, do you guys want to hang out there, I guess, until nightfall? Because you started there in the afternoon. Do you want to day drink through, or?
I think we all know the answer to that question.
Silas will park himself in this chair and glare at Bran for the entire time.
Does anyone have anything else they would like to do as they are sitting at the bar? You can procure rooms from the innkeeper.
It's nice to see Silas making friends. But yeah, we'll probably need a room, innkeeper. Preferably not like a ridiculously high-priced one, if that's at all possible.
Well, it's 200 gold a night from the innkeeper.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we fucked this up.
I think we're going to have to bite the bullet for a room and hope that this quest...
Well, wait a second. Weren't we going to go, on a monster hunting trip at sea tomorrow morning anyway?
No.
We don't know where we're going. We could... Elliott's pretty much said, don't bother me till tomorrow.
Yeah. Fun fact, the 200 gold price is because you're still referring to him as innkeeper. You got this far in and never asked his name, so...
I thought innkeeper was a respectful term. I was going to call him lizard boy.
So yeah, 200 gold per night. If you guys want to attempt to sleep outside, You, I guess, can attempt to make camp, but you're definitely going to be taking some negatives because you are not getting a restful sleep.
Fine, Silas will hand over the cash.
Yeah, I mean, we're literally going to be up with the cows tomorrow, so we should probably get a good night's sleep.
All right.
Okay, so as the sun goes down, you are in the inn and evening is falling. It's basically the same people. They've all been kind of like hanging out. This is pretty much the main adventurer hub for people who aren't initiates, you kind of gather. So as the sun has finally set, you notice that Bram and one of his companions are speaking quickly. And then everybody give me perception.
Can I roll above a fucking 5?
Bjorg also rolls a 5. Jesus.
Brandon rolls an 18. You're not going to roll above a 5 when you're busy just glaring at that guy, blinded by hatred.
Klaus rolls an 11.
Brandon, weirdly, you're the only one who notices, even though Silas is just like hot staring at that table. You're the only one who notices that the third member of the of that table appears to like kind of slump back, having had a little too much to drink. Get kind of knocks out. And then a few moments later, Bram stands up and actually deigns to look upon Silas. Lesser follower, the day is done. Are you prepared for a new challenge of faith?
I have the ultimate challenge of faith.
Oh, do tell.
Stand up and walk over. As paladins, we walk a fine line for our gods, and if we cross that line, we're nothing. We're struck down powerless, unless our faith in our God is so strong that even the most heinous blasphemy will not cause that to happen.
He kind of laughs. Your understanding of dogma is childish at best. And also, you have erred, good stupid fool. You see, I am a follower of a greater god, but I am no paladin. No simplistic idiot swinging a sword and a measure of divinity around.
Oh, you're not a paladin? So, then why the fuck am I talking to you?
Because you chose to challenge my faith and found your own wanting, and now the knowledge that you are lesser is eating you up inside. It is worse, isn't it? I'm not even one of you, and yet I proved myself greater.
Silas.
Turn to my friends and be like, Bjorg, come over here.
What are you gonna... Why are
I
you
need
bringing
your
me to
help
this?
for this.
What do you need my help with?
Come on, get over here.
All right. Bjorg is walking over, looking very reluctant.
Draw your sword.
Bjorg is...
You hear a very loud cough from Elliott behind the bar.
Relax. I got this.
Bjorg is going to look at Elliott and say, I have no intention of attacking anyone, but if I draw my sword, are we all getting tossed out? I think communication is important at this stage.
Silas will hold out his arm and be like, such is my faith in my God. Turn to Bjorg. Lop it off.
What? Bjork is just staring at Silas for a second.
Come on.
What? What?
Chop it off in the name of Tor.
Oh, there's my excuse to not do it. I'm not doing anything in the name of your god. And then Bjork goes back over the bar. I'm not chopping your arm off. He looks at Elliott. If I chopped his arm off, we'd also probably get thrown out, wouldn't we?
Mostly depends on if you took care to keep the blood from getting all over the floors first.
See,
It's his arm. He can rightly do what he wants with it.
I'm not very good at cleaning, though, and I feel like we've made enough of a mess in here.
Oh, I disagree! You hear Bram yell. I think we should make a much larger mess.
The fuck?
I think it's time we gave this little paladin a proper test that he wants so badly.
What?
You guys can also start to notice that Bram is starting to swell and pop and not look quite so human and handsome anymore.
This is a problem.
Yes, it is, because in that moment, there is a loud tearing, ripping sound as the man who called himself Bram vanishes.
Yay, I won.
That's
I neutralized him.
And in his place stands what you can all be pretty sure is a demon.
that is a problem.
And in fact, the other ripping sound you then hear comes from his companion, who appears as, you guessed it, a different looking type of demon.
Oh, god damn it.
And in fact, if anyone would like to go ahead and give me... I will give you religion or arcana, because reasonably you could learn about demons through either path. So religion or arcana to try and know what they are.
I suck at both, so I'll just try religion. And I get a 9.
Klaus rolled a 17 Arcana.
So Klaus, you rolled high enough to have recognized one of them. So one is bigger and kind of burlier. The other is a little bit small, kind of covered in like spike-looking things, a little more wildly dangerous. Which one would you like to recognize and get a little information about?
Whichever one, what's his name, Bram is.
Okay, so Bram is this one. He is a Glabrezu.
Fuck.
Yeah, big old. You can actually zoom in on his picture. He's a good one. He's basically a big old 4-armed demon monster looking thing. 2 arms are pinchers. 2 arms are actual arms. You know he can do spells. He can hit like a motherfucker. Yeah, like this is not a nobody. This is somebody who can really fuck around. Also, kind of makes sense why he didn't give a shit about fire earlier.
Cheating motherfucker.
Cheating. That was
You
indeed
picked
cheating.
it! I couldn't have set that up! Oh my
Klaus
goodness.
would like to glance backwards and how are the barkeep and Elliott taking this?
Not great. Elliott is choking up on his mace, and the barkeep is reaching under for something. And right about that time, you notice that the one who has been quiet and not drawing attention this whole time reaches over and grabs this guy's chest, ripping his heart out and squeezing it. As it does, a wave of magic rolls out, and you notice everybody who is not immediately around you guys is kind of walled off behind a barrier, as Bram, who is now the demon, is looking at Silas. Come, Paladin. I even kept the bystanders out of it. Come test your faith.
Fuck.
And that's where we're going to cut off for this week, I think.
Yeah.
But don't worry, listeners, we are not done. As you know, we take your questions at facebook.com/authorsanddragons, where we run the live blog. But of course, before that, our patrons get to jump in. That's patreon.com/authorsanddragons, where they leave questions on the Discord, and you can too.
All right. Just for the record, this is my favorite island of all so far.
This has worked out very well.
I did not expect you to challenge the secret demon masquerading as like a zealot. I mean, he's not masquerading. He is a zealot. That's just a reason he wouldn't tell you who his god was.
All right. Well, starting off, not a question, but Erin asks, and I think we should because they're awesome. She asks if the Discord patrons can get a big fuck you.
Fuck you, patrons.
Fuck you, patrons.
Fuck you, Discord.
Fuck you, Discord.
Fuck you, people who give us money.
Fuck you, Discordia.
We got a lot of good questions here.
So many good ones this week.
Our friend Lost Leffel asks, what kind of booze would you like to force upon your fellow authors just to see what happens?
I think I'd like to expose you all to rum chata if you haven't had it, just to see that magical childlike joy in your eyes.
I don't know if anyone else has had it, but because I'm not like exactly a booze savant, but I would love to see everyone else try Baron Jaeger. It's kind of my jam.
I've already handed out cans of Kirkland Light, so
I envision a magical
I've lived
world
that
where we're
dream.
all playing the game and drinking banana daiquiris.
That sounds delicious, actually.
Oh wait. Okay, if we're talking inflict, there is something I would love to see you all try, and that is salmiakki. And the fact that everyone is silent tells me I'm probably the only one who knows about that, and that's delightful because salmiakki is a form of like salty licorice candy that they have in Finland. It literally tastes like warm salted licorice, but they also make it in booze form, so it's basically like vodka infused with spicy salty licorice.
Isn't that called
Have you
sambuca?
had Malort, Joe? Because I think you might want to go check out Chicago.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's all.
No, if you like a licorice booze, like that might be up your alley.
I've had licorice booze before, but this shit was different. It was like also kind of weirdly spicy.
Oh, okay, that I don't think it has.
It tasted hot, and like
I don't know what to do with that, man. I don't know what to do with that.
If I am going to go on to spirits, I do like a sambuca. You can set fire to it as well, which is always fun. Flaming sambuca. There you go.
Yeah.
It's a typical kind of about to have some bad ideas drink.
If we're trying to do some infliction, reaching for something a little weirder, I would like to make other people try Shiner S'mores beer. Just because it was... Yeah, it was s'mores flavored Shiner beer. And I kind of liked it. Like, it was
all right.
Very strange. And, like, it was definitely like a one beer at a time thing. Like, you don't crush a six-pack of it at once, but finish the beer. And, like, every day I would have, like, one. And I was like, this is weird, but I'm in.
All right, that's fair.
I guess if we're going to inflict, there was a cocktail we used to drink at a place called The Ship, called a fucking mental. I don't really remember what was in it, but it was bright green. And you haven't really drank until you've seen your friends projectile vomit bright green like something out of the fucking Exorcist. So yeah,
Nice. All right. J Smith 18 asks, and they must really want us to answer this question because they put it in all caps. If you had to replace your hands with something other than hands or claws, what would you put at the end of your arms?
Hook shot. Or I guess grappling hook is the real world version of that.
hookshot would be good, if we were in, video game physics land, which I assume we are if we're putting stuff on our lost hand.
Yeah, if we're just throwing stuff on and assuming it works, that feels pretty cartoon logic-y.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's like, screw it, dicks, hand job or handshake? No, hand job.
You know what? I have to bring back this joke from way earlier in the podcast. I would go the whole hog. I would replace my lost hands with hammers and my feet with wheels. And I would become the invincible hammer wheel.
Excellent answer. That beats hookshot. Sorry, Drew.
The invincible hammer wheel rides again.
Hook-shotting away!
I think I would just maybe graft a live cat.
I'm going to go sensible. And one arm would have a tentacle and one would have like a spoon.
Very sensible.
Yeah, they're like tentacles, multi-use. Spool's a bit of a unitasker, but like you want a spoon. Like you want the ability to drink or to cup your hand. I see where he's coming from.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be more utilitarian to go with a spork? Because then you got it all covered.
Need to stab things. I'll just wrap my tentacle arm around a knife or something. And there you go.
Yeah.
All right, fair.
I don't know, man. How are you going to cut a steak, though? Think about it. You got a spoon hand, you got a tentacle. So your tentacle can hold knife or fork, but either way, you're trying to use a spoon in an equation where it doesn't fit.
I got a fucking spoon and tentacle arms. I don't need to look civilized when I'm eating my steak. I'll just pick it up and bite it.
Just bite it like a cookie.
Yeah.
Whereas poor Steve keeps trying to eat the steak, but his hands eat the steak first.
Meanwhile, I'm grappling hooking other people's steaks from across the restaurant.
Yeah, but then you gotta like grab it, and then you gotta grab it. And you gotta somehow cut it with your grappling hook. It's just shoving.
Oh
the
yeah,
whole
I'm
thing
just
in your
eating
mouth.
it like it's like a Brazilian steakhouse. Like all the different prongs have a different cut of meat on it, and I'm just chewing off.
I was imagining literally grabbing someone's T-bone.
Oh yeah. I'm just like jacking it with my grappling hook. It's like, all right,
It slaps
I
you in
got
the
I got a
face.
T-bone on this one, a sirloin on this hook. Somebody order some shrimp. I wanna test my aim.
Alec Wallace asks, if you had free reign to rewrite any one book, and I'm assuming they mean other authors' books, in the style of your existing books or series, what book and what style would you use?
Oh shoot, that's a good one.
That's tough because like the ones that I know the best are the ones that I like, and so I clearly wouldn't want to touch them. It would have to be one that like had potential, but I didn't really like.
Something that you like the concept of, maybe, but you really hated the execution.
I think I'm really enjoying at the moment the Game of Thrones book, but I already have the TV series, so I don't really care if I ruin them for me and everyone else. So I'd rewrite him in the style of the Brandon Firemaster origin story.
Oh my god.
Because that would be really fun to write.
That would be fucking amazing. The wall was flexing in spring. Weeping for the glorious body of the North.
Pretty much, yeah. I think we could all just kind of fill out I don't even need to write the books now. Everyone listening just knows what the books would be. You can all just enjoy that.
All of the sex scenes are actually just descriptions of architecture contextualized differently.
You know nothing, Brandon Thighmaster. I don't need to know anything. Look at my body.
Brandon Thigh Lannister.
Oh man. Oh, okay. I have one that kind of answers the question, but the other side of the truth is I would never have the fucking balls to actually do it. But Don Quixote, however, obviously 17th century translated Spanish novel, the language is a little archaic for a lot of modern audiences. And while you've seen a fair amount of, theatrical adaptations, it hasn't really been a updated version of like those particular adventures. So if I were a lot more sure of myself, it might be tempting to bite off Don Quixote and do it as a, fun comedic adventure style that I tend to go with. That would be biting off so fucking much.
I was gonna go with some shitty tie-in novel for some franchise I liked, but you have just inspired me to do something like some giant, sprawling Middle Ages epic, like A Matter of France, but in the style of like a high school screw.
Yeah, I was going to say, the majority of the books I would do this with, I could, because I think most of them are like old enough to be in public domain. But if I had to pick one, I would probably rewrite Moby Dick as just a slacker comedy, where every time Ahab comes out and says, like, the name of the whale, people just mercilessly give him shit.
I guess
nobody's taking Ahab seriously.
It's probably worth mentioning also that I literally just released a book in which it's a characters named Holmes and Watson, but on a screwball buddy road trip comedy. So I might have answered this question by accident with my last release.
Step one in revisiting all the classics. It's just Drew's life now.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, no, because it's not any attempt to rewrite Sherlock Holmes, so I guess it wouldn't fit.
I've been planning for a while to write my own gospel. So.
Ooh, a la Christopher Moore. I like it.
Oh, yeah, there's that. But, yeah, the gospel according to Bob.
Thou shalt not be a fuckhead.
Suddenly, Silas doesn't seem so bad. All right, should we throw it over to the Facebook and start taking questions from our lab log?
All right.
Joe.
Okay. Well, our friend Nick asks, would you ever consider doing a live-action, a LARP special episode? For anyone who might not know this, live-action roleplay. I mean, it would require all of us to be in the same place.
Yeah. The stars would really have to align for us to have the window of opportunity to do it when we're all together, the resources to put something worth, actually filming, so costuming, set, etc.
No, I mean, you could have us just go play in an existing LARP, I guess.
Just ambush somebody's lot.
I mean, just crash their fucking LARP.
Let me just say,
Taekwondo place.
let me
Or,
just
you know.
answer no, because I don't want to actually really get beaten up.
Yeah, just imagine us all meeting up with Drew.
I mean-
Like, we're ready to start. Release the wolves.
Just open this door and a bunch of dogs run out.
It's crazy that the movie LARP Crashers didn't do nearly as well as Wedding Crashers. No one can figure out why.
I mean, really, dear listener, the truth is that if you bring dice with you everywhere you go, and you're really, really fastidious about following the results, every conversation and interaction you ever have can be a LARP. You'll be ruining your life, but your boss doesn't care if you rolled a natural 20.
Or you'll be making your life great.
That's great. Hold on, honey. Gotta roll the dice for this one. Well, sorry. Says I gotta fuck bad tonight.
Sorry, babe. Natural 1.
That's your excuse every night for 10 years. Let me see that fucking dice. No!
There's nothing but ones on this dice.
Oh, yeah, it's a D1.
No, my perfect scheme falling apart.
Our friend Vicky asks, if you could turn one of your books into a graphic novel, which one would it be and why? I mean, Skyfarer and Dragon Road, obviously. Like, the Drifting Lands are practically made to be comic booky type adventures, so hell yeah.
Technically, I already have a Bill the Vampire comic book out there, so...
I mean, I feel like I've just got to go with superpowers. Like, that's the obvious answer, and sometimes the obvious answer is right.
In a similar vein, it would be quite fun to convert the Brandon Firemaster book into a comic book, but we're already sort of doing that with the A&D comic book.
I was just going to say, we have a comic book.
As our Patreon subscribers already know. But if I was doing a book that wasn't A&D related, probably Far Into the Dark would be the most visually interesting. Lots of weird monsters in hell. So, yeah.
Fun one.
The obvious choice would be Critical Failures, but I'll pick a different one just for fun. Space Puppies.
Yeah, it's got
It's got the cover that already suggests it.
Kickstarter it, Bevan. Do it.
That needs to happen.
Our friend Nathan, who I'm going to preemptively say fuck you to, said, in all of fiction, across all media, who is your favorite hero character and why?
Oh, Jesus.
Because Nathan is an asshole, and he should be punished.
It's a broad question.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
I mean, gonna kind of circle
All
back to
of
something.
fiction and across all media.
Yeah.
This is literally who's your favorite child?
Yeah. Okay, I can go first because I do kind of have mine locked and loaded. And it touches back on what I said previously about like the respect and the love I have for Don Quixote. The answer is truly Don Quixote. I love that character. You know, I love that it's sort of a proto-hero in a lot of ways and all the things it kicked off. But I also just love the core concept of a guy who reads so many books about knights and chivalry that he goes insane and decides he is one and then goes out into the world to do good. And because he's so crazy, it just kind of works. That shit is right up my alley in the truest way. And the fact that it is such a classic and such an enduring story that has been sampled upon and remixed and used in so many different avenues just kind of adds a lot of depth and texture for me.
Are we sticking to books on this, or
He said
think it's
all
of
fiction.
media. Yeah.
All of media. So
Yeah.
Well, it's
that
gonna have to
technically
be-
includes the ancient epics and the Bible.
Yeah, but all those aside, it's going to have to be Ash from Evil Dead. Stalk, Clerk, turned Demon Slayer.
Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah, that's a
Or
fucking
just
great
Bruce
one.
Campbell,
It's
yeah.
a good choice.
I'd say Spider-Man. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I thought he was just the best hero, you know? And I guess especially since, like, when he's not being Spider-Man, everybody at Marvel who writes him just has his entire life just shit on him. But he keeps going. He never gives up.
Yeah.
Good one. Yeah.
And he wound up with a sweet piece like Mary Jane.
Really did all right, didn't he? Yeah.
At least until they,
Yeah, I mean,
at least until they change that, fuckers.
Yeah, let's not talk about one more day again.
I'll go with the Tick. He makes
That's
me
a good
laugh.
one.
You know. Fuck.
It's Silas Kane. You can just say
No,
it, and we all
no.
know it's Silas.
You know what though? Actually, I'm gonna break this rule here, and I'm gonna come down because I'm about neck and neck. No, you know what? I'm not neck and neck. Fucking Speed Racer.
Cool.
Okay.
Fucking Speed Racer, particularly as portrayed by Emile Hirsch in the film, because fucking I can watch that movie in any state of mind at any point over and over again. I never get bored. I'm always moved, and I always fucking sob like a baby at the end of that movie. Speed Racer is a fucking perfect film, and I will kill anyone over that.
I think that is the first
I
time
guess
I've
we
ever
know
heard
one we're
anybody-
definitely doing on A&D at the movies.
Huh? Oh god, it's so good. It's so fucking good. Sweet naked monologue the entire time. The best thing about the Speed Racer movie, no, seriously, the best thing about the Speed Racer movie is like they literally, all the critics who panned it didn't get that they literally made a live action anime. Nobody else has pulled that off.
It was really true to the source material.
Okay, our friend Lorraine says, if all your characters were shipwrecked on a desert island together, who would be the first to die and who would be the last? Sorry, but you'd all die without a question of a doubt. Thanks, Lorraine. Fuck you.
We've been shipwrecked, haven't we?
All right.
All right, who dies first?
So first, last. Oh man. First, I
you
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say Klaus has already died once. I just want to bring that up.
He's got experience.
I just wanted to throw that down before we got too deep in.
I know who's got it. Yeah. I mean, Bjorg and Brandon have the most protein requirements, so that's a ticking clock there. But you can imagine who's going to be the last raving lunatic, bone-finned skeleton man on an island. He probably wouldn't even die. It'd be Silas Kane. He'd become some horrible legend in somebody else's adventure.
Really, I feel like Silas would immediately go full cannibal insane. Like the rest of you wouldn't have a chance to go down that dark path because immediately you would turn around and you'd have a rock to bash your head in.
I think it's the opposite. I think the second they hear, okay, there's no hope for survival. We got to pick who to eat first. I have a feeling that all those rocks should be aimed at Silas's head.
Oh yeah, I always forget. Yeah, he's so masochistic. He would brain himself.
Would Silas... Here's the thing, though. Would any of us want any part of Silas near our mouths?
Yeah, because as Silas dies, you can be like, now Torag will be in all of you.
Yeah,
no, I'll starve to death.
I don't think Silas makes it to the end. Silas is too death wishy.
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, Bjorg is the most edible, I guess. He's got
I've
the
been
most
inside
mass.
Silas before. I'd eat him.
I also don't think people would really want to eat Klaus.
Wait.
That's really true.
Who's the elf in the party? Fandango?
Fandango, yeah.
Fandango
Shit.
lives.
He
Because
doesn't
Fandango
sleep.
has to sleep less than the rest of you.
Fuck. Yeah, you're right.
Klaus is a half elf as
They're
well.
both half elves.
They're both half elves.
Do you guys get the reduced sleep time?
No.
Oh, okay. Then it comes down to the half elves, I think. Maybe it's Klaus.
Definitely, if it's not Silas, it's Klaus. He's got that cockroach thing about him.
It's just the glass cannonness and the tendency toward natural ones when it counts.
I don't know. I think Klaus drowns before anything else because he's like, I got the biggest well in the world here.
Actually, you know what? Klaus dies of drinking seawater because he can't stop refilling his bladder even though there's not a freshwater source.
Oh, God. Because he has to be able to pee on things.
Yep. So he chugs the salt water and goes down the way he lived. Penis out, piss a-flowing.
Oh, the person who actually survived would be Ron Weasley Jeremy.
Oh my God, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think you are right.
As the last of you falls, Ron Weasley Jeremy emerges from the brush.
He's just been drinking Klaus's piss. And
Klaus is his water filter.
yeah, exactly.
Ron Weasley Jeremy is the Bear Grylls of the desert island. Sun's setting, time to drink my own piss.
It's like makes a little campfire, starts cooking one of you. Nice music plays as it fades out.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
Jesus.
To be honest, that's a happy ending.
Yeah. Everybody got what they deserved.
Yeah.
The only sympathetic character lived.
This is how we'll end the series.
It's not the worst idea.
We probably.
Yeah, and then after he finishes devouring us, he remembers weasels can swim, and he just saves himself.
Oh, he knew. He knew the whole time.
And the big reveal
That's
is
like-
that's not actually that much of an island. It's actually just like a rocky outcropping within swimming distance of the shore, but we were all so convinced.
I'm just picturing a weasel sailing the ocean on a boat made of bones with a sail made of flesh.
And that is the end of Authors and Dragons.
A sail made of flesh with abs on it.
Oh, God. And that's the image we're going to leave you with this week. We'll be back next week with an episode of Side Quest, and then in 2 with a new episode of Authors and Dragons. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Yeah, don't have a cow, man. Other cow jokes. Cow jokes. Cow jokes. Cow jokes. Cow jokes. Cow jokes.